What up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of A Drink and a Game. Of course, this is the pod. I'm your host, Dre. This is the pod where we sit down and we talk and drink, and all good things. It's like sitting at a bar and talking about video games, which I know a lot of people are like, who the fuck goes to the bar to talk video games? But if you're my friend, you go to the fucking bar and we're going to talk about video games, okay? If we're not talking about something not important. All right, but today I'm joined by Big E, makes his return.
Yo.
He's here. Felice, Felice Cat, you guys know her. And then, of course, Freddie G, man with the plan.
What up?
Definitely our editor-in-chief, I should say now, since I just give everything to him to edit. So we are, let's say, when it comes to PlayStation, we're like 3 days into next gen, 3 days. When it comes to Xbox, we're 4 days into the next gen of consoles. I guess now that we got them, we can no longer call them next gen. It's just the PS5 and the Xbox Series X. And we have a lot of games we're going to get into today. But only two of us right now own the consoles. Well, Felice owns the PlayStation. I own the Xbox and PlayStation. And Big E and Fred are still holding on. Fred is holding on to hope, and E can wait. He's not like the rest of us. He can wait. And but E wanted to join us today because there's one game that we're going to start this off with that I think at least three of us have played here. Felice, I don't think you've hopped on to this yet. But Assassins Creed Valhalla, right? You haven't played that one yet, right?
I don't have any more money.
I know how that feels. Like I had to go trade and everything to get Demon Souls.
I forgot to do that.
But we'll get into Demon Souls later. Fuck that game. I'll let you start off, man. Tell us your experience with Assassin's Creed. What you liking about it? Anything you disliked? Let's hear it.
All right. So first off, so Freddie, you're playing on the PS4, right?
Xbox.
All right. And Dre, you're still playing on 4? Or you moved over to the 5?
I moved to the 5.
All right. So I haven't. So I want to start off by saying I haven't played an Assassin's Creed game since what's the one with the twins, the British twins?
That's not 4.
No.
No.
Ezio? No, not Ezio.
No. It had a name to it, right?
Yeah, it had a name.
Brotherhood?
Colonial period.
No.
Period. Fred, you Google it right now, right?
Yeah, I can check it out.
It's not Rogue. It's
It's because it's one of the most memorable pieces of shit.
Syndicate.
Syndicate.
No, you sure it's Syndicate?
Yeah.
You sure it's Syndicate? Syndicate wasn't
That's what it says.
Well, you was playing the one that's the bad guy?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. It was Syndicate.
All right, so that's the last time I played. I haven't played Odyssey. I haven't played Origins or switch it around. So I'm not familiar with the way that the franchise has changed.
Yes.
So that's why I don't know if some of my grievances or some of my issues are just because it's changed, or is it just because, I'm not too sure. But so far I like the game. I think I'm trying to remember how far I've been into it. Like probably less than 20 hours, which feels like I've been playing more than that. Like it feels like I've been playing almost double that. Because
that's
it's
how
just
these open world games always seem to feel.
No, it's not even that. Because like I was telling this to Mike too, that it takes you so long to finally get into the progression of the story. Playing it for 10 hours, and we're not even really into the story yet. That's probably my biggest problem so far with it.
You got 2 hours up on me. I only did 8 so far.
So like how far? So well, first off, how far are the spoilers are we getting into this?
None. No spoilers.
Well,
I think it's still relatively new.
Like it's still new, but if you're only 10 hours in,
They can't be
a
spoilers.
side quest too. There's like side quests. I say, hey, I don't mind talking side quests. Like if it's some crazy story plot, then maybe we hold that part back. But if it's like side quest stuff, or maybe you could talk about it without giving too much away.
Because
Cryptic.
I'm 12 minutes in,
12
and I
minutes.
probably
God.
12 hours in, and
Oh,
I
I was like 12
barely.
minutes.
What?
You
Who
just
is
started
what?
playing
It
right
was
before we
actually
did
12
this?
minutes. Like I timed it, like 12 minutes. I turned it off. No, I'm 12, like about 12 hours in, and I barely touched the main story. So like my 12 hours is probably a different experience than your 12 hours. So I was like, I think side missions is a good kind of way to discuss this game a little bit.
Well, like I was saying, I was discussing it a little bit with Mike, and Mike said the same thing. He said that he didn't do any of the side missions. I actually said the opposite. He didn't do any of the side missions. He did the main story, and still he felt like the progression of the story took forever. I mean, the reason why I'm asking about spoilers is because, you know, again, like you'll play this game for a while and think that this is the story, but it's not the story. It starts to change and evolve. You know, I mean, like I said, I don't want to give too much away, but it's 20 hours into the game is a completely different story than when you first started. So I think that's one of my biggest problems. Also, Freddie, I'll ask you this because Andre's probably not experiencing this. Are you getting any glitches in the game?
I got one so far, which I recorded. It was like the dog glitched out when he was running to me.
I got
He looked like he
two.
was like flying to me, and it was like the funniest shit. So I'll probably post that up later. But like his paws wasn't there, so it was just like his body, and he just ran straight to me, and like I pet him, and like it was just the funniest shit. But I haven't ran into any kind of crazy glitches yet.
Greg, what about you?
I
What'd you
told
get?
you. Remember when I was playing on PS4 when it first came out. And this is the first, I think, or second mission of the game. We're fighting these guys in this town, and then I think I told you I started running, and then when I tried to stop, my guy wouldn't stop running, and he just kept running and running and running. And so I tried pausing the game wouldn't pause. I tried turning off the game and closing it, game would not close. I had to actually plug out my PS4 in order to get the game to turn off. So the game actually like froze my whole system up.
Wow.
And I had to reboot everything and the external drive. That was my first glitch, and I was only like 20 minutes into the game. You know, I tried not to, you know, make it didn't deter how I feel about the game, but at the same time, it was crazy. I'm like, damn. So people were talking about glitches. Usually I don't really experience glitches, but this time I did. And then last night I experienced another glitch playing on the PS5, where there's this one side quest where you have to go with this guy on a boat. He's taking you somewhere. You come back, and if you touch this man and let the stick that he's rowing with fall out his hand, he won't move at all. And then, so what I did was I pushed the boat myself to the thing by swimming underneath the boat. And this took about 15 minutes. And when we got to the spot, he talked to me, but then he wouldn't get off the boat, and the objective was to follow him. And then so I tried pushing him off the boat. I kept running into him. I realized if I kept pushing him, he'll fall. So I got him into the water, but then he just started floating in the water and didn't move at all. So since my last save was about 20 minutes before all that, I didn't want to do that. I wanted like a checkpoint. So I had to swim for about 10 minutes to kill myself and drown in order to do the mission, that point of the mission over again. Second time I did, I just made sure not to touch him or his stick. And
That sounds terrible.
I know, yeah. And
Also sounds very sexual.
It
Like
does.
you were not allowed to touch a stick.
couldn't touch his
Consent
stick.
is important.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
once I didn't touch his stick, the game stopped glitching. You know, so far so
yeah,
good.
Well, I've had multiple mini glitches. Nothing as, even with Freddy's, like nothing as like funny or as big as that. So part of the game, you have to raid other parts of the country, so, right? So you raid like little villages, and that's how you get a lot of money and a lot of resources. So when you're raiding, sometimes you come across, you're raiding with a bunch of your other, whatever, fellow Vikings or whatever you want to call it. So you come up to this door, and sometimes the doors are barred on the other side. And you need a little extra push, like literally an extra push. So you press the button, and it will get into this animation where you call one of your other fellow Vikings over, and the two of you will push the door at the same time. And it's like 2 or 3 times until the door opens. Well, on multiple occasions, I'll press the door, and he'll say, "Hey, you, come over here," and no one will come. And it's just him, pushing on the door by himself.
Someone actually posted about that in the IGN group that I'm in, and they're like, "Hey, does anyone know how to open these doors? Because it's not opening." And someone was like, "Oh, it's you happening to you too, because I haven't been able to open the door either." So that's like a common thing going on right now, where people are stuck at those doors and they're not able to open.
At one point, someone said at one point, one of the other characters came over, but they weren't in sequence of the pushing. So I would push, and it wasn't working, because it had to be in the same sequence. So then I had to stop it and try it over. And sometimes there are other AIs in the vicinity, and they still won't help you with the door. So that was annoying. And there's just a lot of things like that. Some of the assassinations, like when he comes out of the bushes to assassinate somebody, he doesn't actually catch them. So like they're not in sequence with each other again. The
I've seen that before in other Assassin's Creed games. Question though,
so,
while we're on that, did you guys turn on the instant assassinations, or you left it based on level?
I left it. I didn't touch it.
I left it. Yeah, I didn't touch any of those.
Because I'm like, I wanted to go back to the days of the first game where when you assassinated somebody, they die. No, I'm going to cut off half your health bar. And somehow, although your neck is bleeding out, you can still swing your sword and axe. So.
I think they guilt trip me when they're like, "This is not the way we want you to play this game." And I was like, oh, "Okay, I guess so."
They don't catch me with that shit.
I was like, "I'll play your crappy game."
Anyway, these little inconsistencies, little glitches make me think that they rushed this game, especially when PS5 was coming out around the same time, or the next gen was coming out around the same time.
How do you like the combat though?
The combat's okay, but again, like I don't know, is that something that they changed with the series, or is it just this game?
It's pretty much the same since Odyssey and stuff.
Okay.
It's kind of, except for decapitations now and limbs falling off. You can't really do that in the last games. This is the first one where they finally let you do that shit. So that's what makes me happy. But I realized playing with right now I'm using the ball and chain with the spikes on it and the axe.
Mm-hmm.
And even though it's fun, it kind of sucks because you don't really have a good gist of when to block sometimes.
Right.
And like you're getting hit constantly. And it's like, unless you're using the shield, it's like you're going to constantly have to keep dodging with square out the damn way or just be perfect with the timing of this thing. So it kind of makes, as much as I want to use like double axes and stuff, it kind of makes me not want to use it because of how intricate you have to be when it comes to fucking blocking. And
I would say be patient and start unlocking. The more you play, the more skills you unlock. And there's an ability where like if you dodge, you actually slow time. So like you could play as somebody who just wants to dodge. So like you could be reckless, dodge, slow time, kick ass, and then goes back in time. Or you could do
also give me that ability.
Yeah, and then all you could do, you could like kind of just go on the shields where like parrying does more damage. So like I think just give time for the skill tree to kind of kick in, and I think you'll find like your groove. I think early on is kind of tough.
My problem is that I'm trying to evenly distribute points. That's my problem right now. It's like I always come into this thing where I can't just pick a path. It's just like I gotta over here has 8 points. Right. Over here only has 5. I need to fucking make over here look like it has 8 too. And then they're like, oh, look, we're going to open up this branch too. I'm like, shit, now I got to get to over there too and over here. So right now that's my problem. But the good thing is you can respect at any time and stuff is switch up. But I know I'm not going to do that. But the only time I really think about where I'm putting my points is if I'm dying and I need to figure out, okay, where's the best place to place these skill points in order to pass this part that I'm at? That's the only time I really.
But a lot of it's clouded, so you don't even know what some of the special abilities are until you get close to them. Yeah. And that's how I've been determining where I put my skill points. Is like, are these special abilities something I could really use or really need? And if so, then I'll start going towards them. But you won't know until you unlock that part.
And Freddie, since you're a little further than like, let's see, since we're on story, y'all, what is your thoughts on the story right now? I know you didn't play too much of it. You're doing the side quest. What's your thoughts
Yeah.
on the story and are the side quests as entertaining to you as you thought they were gonna be?
I like the tone. Like that's one thing I think we spoke about before. I like the bloodiness. I like it's more mature. I think coming from like I don't know. I think I just like that tone. I just got up to the settlement, which I don't know if you passed. You're pretty sure you passed that point already.
Past that, yeah.
Because I was doing so much side missions, and the side missions. One thing, I haven't run into any repeat side missions yet. Which like almost 12 hours in, I haven't like done something 2 times. So I think that's pretty cool to have because that was the problem with the last Assassin's Creed. It was like you're just doing the same shit over and over again. I just got tired of it. So the tone in the story is pretty good. I'm curious to see what he's talking about. Hopefully, I reached that point about it just changing. Oh, I just got out of the Animus the first time, which
Oh yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that. I totally forgot about it. I'm like, holy shit, I forgot this is Assassin's Creed
When
game.
that happened, I was like, yo, I forgot all about these people outside in the real world and shit. And
I don't care.
Yeah, we don't care because I realized you have a chance.
I never cared.
Yeah, well, you had a chance to. I think I cared with Desmond because that was the beginning, and we felt like there was this connection happening, especially when he started gaining the powers of the assassin and things like that. But in this one, it's like you get out, and you talk to somebody, you go outside, and then you have the option of continuing to learn about these people and talking to them or go back into Animus. And I didn't even walk towards any of them. I went right back into Animus.
But if memory serves, that's every Assassin's Creed. Like you'd come out and be like, hey, you could look in the mirror, or hey, you could take a shit in the toilet, or hey, you could go back to, being the real cool part of the game.
I think they made it do much more. Remember in the first one, they made us like, we had to, there was parts
Puzzles,
where we had to run
the division.
test out our skills.
I blocked that out.
I think it's funny because this one they actually kind of acknowledge it. They're like, "Hey, you can go in anytime you want." Like they're like hinting at you don't have to do this. They're like, "This is all optional." Like, so I'm like, "Okay, it knows."
These characters, just get the fuck out. Just go back easy.
The only thing that was interesting to me was, I'm not gonna say, but where they found the bones of this character, and it was like, how the fuck did that? But that's the only interesting part. But I don't know if you guys remember, because you guys were like in diapers when the first Assassin's game came out. But,
what are you
saying right now?
Because that's how old this fucking series is.
And old.
What is it? 20
it's
years?
old.
I think it's 20. I think it's about.
I can look it up. The first one was 2007.
Yeah,
we graduated high school. When we graduated high school.
Felice, I don't put you in the same category as them. They were born in '89. I don't put you in the same category. Don't worry, I'm talking about them. But when the first game came out, that whole Animus shit was never marketed. So it was just marketed as this like historical piece video game where you get to be an assassin. For me anyway. And the first time I played it, I had no idea that you were going to be playing not only as that, but as a someone in the future. And I was like, what the fuck is this? I don't give a fuck about this storyline. I want to be the cool assassin guy. And it's just, that was always the downfall.
Funny, it was the opposite for me. It was like, holy shit. Like I thought this would like, my whole thing was, holy shit, we're gonna have Assassin's Creed in the future. And like I kept waiting for that to happen, it just never happened.
It never did.
And that was that's why I was like excited for. I'm like, yo, can I assassinate people or like skyscrapers and like some like 21st century stuff?
Yeah, I mean, if that happened, then that would have been cool. Yeah, but it was just walking around doing puzzles, and I was like, okay, how much more do I got to do before I could be the cool assassin again?
Exactly. Another thing I wanted to ask you guys, because early on in the game, and I didn't know this was in the game, I ran into like a legendary animal, like a fucking deer, this legendary deer
elk.
Earlier in the game. Yeah, elk. There we go. And I'm pissed off because when I was about to kill it, my health was like this low. I forgot to put it up and it killed me, and I never went back to it because I was pissed off. So, but have you guys discovered any other animals? Or what happens when you beat one of them?
I so the cool thing is because the reason I did so much stuff is because I didn't think I could come back to that spot. But you get a chance to go back.
That fast travel.
Yeah, so I
Yeah,
didn't know
that
that.
makes
That's
sense.
why I stopped everywhere and did everything. But it was pretty cool. I wasn't expecting it. I just because it's like a little story. First, you see like a skeleton. You rather know like, oh, the legendary beast is here, and I go up, and then like it started getting cloudy. The weather changed. It was pretty epic actually. You
Yeah.
kill him, you get his head, and you could like I'm pretty sure you can hang it up in a settlement somewhere. But yeah, I think you just get skill points and a trophy. That's pretty much it. But the side missions are really cool. I got like a legendary weapon from like killing this guy. I think during the stream, this guy was like his king died and he wants to go to Valhalla honorable. So he was like, "Can we fight?" And like, if you kill me, I get to go to Valhalla. So I killed him. I got this badass spear. So it was pretty fun. I'm using it still for a while.
Did you have anything memorable? Any memorable side missions that you did?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. I just did one that see that's another problem we have with the game is I feel like it does give you some sort of tutorial, but with other things it doesn't. Like a lot of the side missions, it doesn't really tell you what you're supposed. I mean, some of them they do. Like I came up against this farmer. Who had like a massive rat problem that was just eating all of his
I haven't reached that.
all of his crop. And it was like, what do? I don't know what to do. And I had no idea where the fuck to go. I was like running around. And then I saw this woman who literally was like down the road from the farm. When I mean down the road, I mean like 50 feet
Yeah,
from the
sometimes
farmer.
depending on the setting you put it on, you have to. They make you look a little bit more.
Yeah, more.
For your,
But she
objective.
had almost like a word bubble over her head. So that gave me the
That's
and
how you
she had all these cats. So you basically had to get the cats to meet the rats. And
That's cool.
that was fun, but again, it took me maybe like a minute to realize I'm going in the wrong direction.
Did you put it on exploration mode or which mode?
What's the difference between exploration? I don't
They
know.
got like the exploration mode. They got like it's like 3 different modes that determine how much of the area you could see or how much.
I can't remember. I think I put that one on. Yeah. See, I've been doing more like looking for gold and looking for artifacts and that sort of thing than side missions. I haven't really done that many side missions. I've done a few.
I've just been doing them as I pass them. Like if I'm gonna run past one while I'm on a main mission, then I stop and do it. My most memorable one is I think it was 2. One where this couple couldn't have sex. They needed a way to spice up their relationship.
Yes.
And you have to burn. Yeah, they tell you to break stuff. And she's like, are you horny yet, baby? And he's like, no, it didn't do it for me. And then she's like, maybe if you burn our house down, it'll do it for him. Then you throw a thing and you burn, their house is burning. And they're like, we're going to have sex in this fire. You could go now. And I'm just like, what?
Yeah, the problem with that one is I started doing that. And that's in an area where it's a very high level to be in that area. It's like 190, level 190, something like that. So
you got to stay cloaked.
Yeah. So all right. That makes sense. Because I accidentally got into a fight with somebody while doing that mission.
Damn.
And then of course they killed me. They handed me my ass. And then I had to redo it. But yeah, that was a weird one. That was fun.
The other one that caught me off guard is when this guy's on the mountain. He asks you to like help him throw his stuff off the mountain to take it to the afterlife because he didn't trust his kids to do it. And then after you're done, you're like, what are you gonna do now? And the motherfucker just jumps off the cliff. And he's like, thank you, as he's falling.
Yes.
Yo, I was like, I just helped this man commit suicide.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah, you threw all this shit. And he was like, oh yeah, and I'm just gonna throw myself too. Yo, I'll ask Freddie this. What do you think of the dice game?
Oh, I haven't even tried it yet. That's like the one mini game I haven't tried.
All right, Dre, I told you when I first did it, I told Dre it was weird. And it reminded me of Gwent, like so much like Gwent, but not as fun. But then I started really getting into it. And what do you think, Dre? What do you think of it? Did you do it?
I like it, but remember I told you it was like, it takes a little while to learn. So like
it does.
is when I'm like 10 minutes in. I'm just like, man, before I get bored of playing right now, let me just fucking quit. You know, like the guy was beating me, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, man, I'm gonna have to figure this out. I'll figure this out on another day when I'm not drinking, which is not a lot of days, but you know, but yeah, I was tired at that point, and I'm just like, man, I got to get out of this. So I just gave up the match. But it was an interesting game, and I feel like that's something that could be done in real life. And if I had to bet my last dollar, there's some geeks out there that are playing that game right now.
I'm sure. So Freddie, you haven't seen it at all, right?
No.
All right. So it's these little dice, and they have the icons on them, and they're basically there's like 2 icons for attack, 2 icons for defense, and there's like an icon with a hand, and it's really difficult to explain, but there's a lot of strategy. That's why it's very similar to Gwent, and you have like these rocks, and the objective is basically to do enough attacks to get rid of the opponent's rocks. You know, I forgot how many there were, like 12 or 13, something like that. And it's just yeah, Dre's right. Like it takes a while to get used to. But so far, those idols, you know, the idols, Dre, that
I've only found one, but I haven't figured out. Like, I think you have to like make sacrifices to it or give certain items.
No, you have to beat them. You have to beat them to get the god. Those little god idols that are on the side.
Oh, okay, all right. I thought you was talking like
I've got 4 of them.
On the map that I came to, and they were like, you need 12 something to sacrifice to give to this thing. I don't even know what it is yet. I have to remember it for the next show. Maybe on Thursday I'll talk about it during the Gamerish Pod. But Felice, since all of us are talking, I want to know, is there any questions you have about this game that you want to ask?
Well, I mean, I am curious about the game that he mentioned with the idols, I guess you call it. It's
dice. Yeah, they're dice.
Yeah, I'm curious about that because it does sound like Gwent, and as a person who is in Dirkdom in reference to Gwent and spent a lot of money on those stupid chests
Me and you both.
for those cards and download the extra expansion pack. Anyway, I'm just curious about that game and like how. I mean, I know you said there's like some sort of a period to get into it, but I remember Gwent straight off the bat, I was already into it, even though I didn't know how to play. But yeah, it sounds like that mixed with this other game, like Hearthstone or something. I don't know.
I love me some Hearthstone. I must have put like $400 into that fucking game, man. Crazy.
Just stop. Just quit.
I think Gwent is probably my favorite like mini game of all time but it's a very immersive game because like you said, like you get a handle on it pretty quickly, whereas the dice it was just a little. There's a lot of
chess with dice. It's like playing chess with dice.
But
sounds like that.
It's also because there's a lot of rules. There's a lot of rules, and there's a lot of things you can do. You know, like you have these idols, they're saying they're gods. They're supposed to represent the Norse gods. And each one does something different. And you can only have 3 for each game. So you'll start collecting more and more. Because I said I have 4 now, and there was probably, you know, close to more than 10. But like I said, each one does something different. And so then you have to decide like which one you want to use for the particular person you're going up against. So there's a lot of rules and stuff.
Like
what?
Weaknesses and stuff?
Yeah. So like one heals, like I said, you have to get rid of these pebbles or these rocks. So you could, one god will heal, give you more rocks if you've lost a bunch of them. But then also at the same time, you can only use the gods at a certain particular time during the game. So you have to put that into effect, and there's a lot of things to put into effect.
That's complicated.
Yeah, but once you play it a few times, you'll get in.
Yeah. Other than that, the thing that I was curious about, because I saw Freddie playing, and I saw him like taking the time out to go over the skill part, when he was like upgrading his character or something like that. I thought that part was interesting, the way they set the skill trees. I don't know if they call it skill tree, but the way they set it up, I thought that was really interesting. It seemed very specific. Like some things are just like, oh, you get this attack, or you get to be able to use this weapon. But there I saw like it was like more specific, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah. Well, like once before you can get a special attack, they'll just like give you more health, or they'll give you more resistance to poison or shit like that. But it's also set up like a what's it called? Astrology, which is very similar to Skyrim. So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, there's like the little circles with the little like the lines.
Mm-hmm.
Just like that. So one last question before we move on. So since you're the furthest in E, tell me without spoiling it too much, is your first interaction with the Templars interesting? Is it memorable?
Is it? Give me an example. Like what would define the word?
Because you haven't played Assassin's Creed, or the Templars are the opposing team to the Assassins. So I know in every game there's a different version of Templars and things like that. So I guess like in the beginning of this game, you're introduced to those two guys earlier on, which are obviously assassins. They're part of the assassins, and they talk about their enemies like that. At the point of the game that you're at, have you been introduced to those enemies? And if you were introduced to those enemies, was it something fun? Was it a boring moment? Is it something that we're gonna forget, or is it something that
hold on. I have a question for you and Freddie. And that will determine, for me, that will determine how far you guys are into the story without actually spoiling anything. I just thought of it now. So since you guys have played, do you guys remember seeing the title card? Do you remember seeing Assassin's Creed Valhalla?
Yeah.
Okay. So now I know where you are. So let me talk to you in a cryptic tone. So my point is that you're introduced to this character. You're introduced to this this country or backdrop. We'll call it a backdrop. And then all of a sudden it just changes. And nowhere did we realize that we weren't going to always be in that backdrop for the whole game. We're only in that backdrop for what I said, like 10 hours. And then we're just thrown somewhere else. And then how I always felt the old Assassin's Creed games, it was very theatrical when it came to the assassinations. And I think that's what you're getting at, Dre. It's like when you come up against one of the Templars, it's like you're hiding in the bushes and then you come out of nowhere and it's this really slow moment where you assassinate someone and then you're like talking to them, right? In this dream state or whatever the fuck
I know
it's
they
supposed to
have
be.
that again in this game. They brought that back. In a way.
In a way.
So
that, to me, was memorable. Yeah, it was a little over dramatic or theatrical, but it was memorable. This is nothing like that. The only memorable part is, for some reason, out of nowhere, and again, this could be in the other games, you see the blade, the point of view of the blade going into the person's body.
Yeah, that hasn't been in the other games.
You see the blade go into the organs, and you see the blade puncture the organs. Which the first time it happened, I was like, "What the fuck?" Like, it was like very
shit.
Yeah, but not even. But the sniper elite, you see the bullet go. All of a sudden, it was just like right into the organ, and I didn't understand what was going on. I mean, it was gory and it was cool, whatever. But then. And then, dude, the assassinations are just happening in the middle of a room full of people. Like, it's not really, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like.
We used to do that in part 1. We used to be able to go walk in, blend with people, kill somebody, and walk away.
That's not it at all. That's not it at all.
Man,
one of the guys I just assassinated, it was during a raid. Like, you fight them. And then they go down, and there's an icon above them.
You brought that up. It's funny how you bring that up, because I went on a raid, And you know, there's a point where if you build a certain thing in your settlement, you get these side missions in which you get these targets that you got to go after. And in the middle of my raid, one of the targets just happened to be in that village. And not only was I'm trying to raid and kill everybody, but now that fucking guy is coming after me. And I'm just like, oh shit, this is one of those guys that's on my hit list. You know, so I was able to.
Oh, those guys. Okay.
Yeah, I was able to kill two birds with one stone, but it's great that you could do that, you know, like that.
Yeah.
Or if I would have just went to that village and didn't do it as a raid, I could have just killed that guy, and then if I did that the other way, then I wouldn't have to deal with that guy. It'll just be a regular raid.
You mean the zealots? You mean the zealots, right?
Yes, you know, when you build up the settlement for that assassin guy, and like that, you build up that thing, and then there's like this whole menu now of people that you have
that's
assassin.
them. Those are the Templars.
Those are the Templars. Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like,
3 of them.
It's not that memorable because you don't know who they are. You have to like find clues to figure out who they are. And then when you do, like, I was in a raid and I was fighting, and then he was there and I weakened him, and it was like, oh, go see, finish the job. And then that's when you see the blade, the point of view of the blade.
Yeah.
And it was just like, it's just weird because, and I said this to Michael, that when he mentioned this, when we first saw the footage, he was the one that said like Vikings weren't really known for being stealthy and quiet in Assassins. So how is that going to fit in this game that we're so used to having? My answer is I have no fucking idea, because it's still not
one thing though to show you the difference between the Vikings and the Assassins. If you remember early in the game, if you went and did the eagle eye off of a cliff and you jumped off, you did the dive into the water until one mission where the assassin shows you how it's done.
Yeah.
And then he does the regular dive into the haystack. So that's one way they tried to show the transition right there that I noticed. Because I was like, I remember going up on a mountain, I'm like, where am I supposed to jump?
Me too,
Where's my haystack?
Yeah, me too, yeah.
And then they're like, and I just realized maybe I'm supposed to jump in the water. And he just dives into the water. And I'm just like, okay, I'm glad that worked. Because, even though it's a video game, you still get that head rush like I'm about to die. You still get that head rush every time you jump off a cliff.
I think the biggest point of the difference, like you're saying, is that when they give the character the hidden blade, he puts it on top. Mm-hmm. And not the bottom, because like what Michael had brought up months ago, they're not really known. They weren't really known for being assassins. And he said it himself, I'm not about hiding my killing weapons, So it's definitely different. It's definitely different. I mean, I enjoy it. Don't get me wrong, but again, you guys got the title card. Did you not? First of all, the title card, it took hours for us to see it.
Well, for me, I think it was faster because I just did mostly main missions when I started. I said I'm not going to do any side quests until I've run into a side quest. So that's how I'm playing right now. So if my main quest doesn't take me close to somebody that has a side quest, I'm not doing any of them, because that's why I don't finish my other Assassin's Creed games. So I said I'm gonna approach this one differently. I'm not doing any side quests unless it's in my face. That's how I'm approaching this one. If it's not in my face, not touching it.
So Freddie, when you saw the title card, what did you think? You thought it took a while, or it didn't take a while?
Yeah, I wasn't expecting a title card, so when I saw it, I'm like, okay, I guess the game starts now. After 10 hours in.
10 hours in.
I was like, oh, okay. I guess it's that type of game. But with the side missions, you gotta remember that this is more of an RPG than the original Assassin's Creed. So make sure you don't get stuck later facing things you can't face.
Oh, no, that's the thing. That's why I asked you in our Gamers podcast whether they were leveled or they were just doing the skill points only, because skill points are better, because people complained about the leveling thing because if we didn't feel like doing side missions, now we're stuck because of those levels.
I think honestly, I think there's going to be a point where things are going to get really tough. I think I maybe spoke too early, but I think it's like those games like Borderlands does it, where like the score on top means like you can't kill them, and like the different ranks. So and we might hit that spot if we don't do enough side missions.
I'm gonna do some, like if it's close in the area, then I'll go do it if I can see a number on it. But if it's still a dot on my map and there's no number telling me how far away it is, I don't go towards it. Only if there's a number. That's the only time I do it, But
oh wait, one more thing. So since you guys got the title card, did you feel that the game in that it felt different? It changed, like it wasn't what you thought it might have been.
It's right where I'm at. To me, it still feels kind of the same,
But I mean, storyline wise, not gameplay, but storyline wise, it's
you're right. I think I know you're talking about the environment change.
Yes.
Yes. That was like, all right. I thought, because when you read in magazines, it looks like we're gonna be in the snow all the time.
See, I didn't want to say that, but
the title goes, you're no longer in the snow. It's like we're in a warm environment. It might be cold because they're still wearing all that heavy clothing, but it's not snow everywhere, and you're not jumping into the water worrying about freezing to death like you were at the beginning of the game.
Which I like that. I did like that.
Yeah, because that was annoying, trying to get to the other side of land and having to worry about freezing to death. That's I guess that's it for our Assassin's Creed talk. We'll probably go more into this again, people, on the Gamerish podcast this Thursday. So hopefully we don't have to keep Naomi too quiet at that point in time. but now we're going to the next game for PS5 that Felice is streaming currently on her page, Felice Cat at twitch.tv. For those who don't know, and one day she'll be streaming on our regular channel when she could get on it.
As soon as you fix my channel.
But Godfall for PS5. So let's get into Godfall, because I know you have a lot, because I'm early on in Godfall. I know watching your stream, last thing I saw in your stream, which you're past that now, is when you got these armors to choose from. And that's where I stopped this morning. I got to choose my armor.
Don't watch too far.
So tell me what you feel, what's Godfall? Because the big question out there is, what the fuck is Godfall? Because all we see is gameplay videos. There's no story attached to those gameplay. There's no explanation to what this game is.
There is a story. It shows you in the beginning of the game.
Yes,
and then
but in trailers, there's no story.
But because I think they're doing that on purpose, because when you watch it, like the trailers and stuff like that, you just expect all of that stuff that you see to be like the videos, not like gameplay. You expect all of that stuff to actually be like cutscenes, right? But you're like, no, this is live. Like they're actually playing this part. So I think they're doing it on purpose so that they can show how good it looks.
One of the better looking games on PS5. A lot of shininess. It's
so shiny. But it literally, I mean, they should show trailers on the story, but the beginning of the game, which I missed part of the beginning of the game because it had already started and they wouldn't let me restart because the PlayStation saves it automatically. So I couldn't restart the beginning story. But the gist of what I got so far is that your brother is a dick. Yeah, and this is not necessarily a spoiler because this is the beginning of the game. But yeah, so you are this person and you're trying to make sure that this other person, your brother, is not trying to like fuck everyone over in the world. And you, like the armor thing that you saw, those armor things are part of like literally these gods, so to speak. They call it Valor. I cannot say that word. Valor. Yeah, but literally, it's the presence. It's like the presence of that being. So it wasn't until today that I realized that I never switched my armor, even though I was like literally going there as I was literally grinding, not on purpose, but I like to collect shit because I don't want to build an armor, but I don't have no items to build it because this game, as you said last time, is loot heavy.
It's a
So
looter, the first ever looter action game.
it's severely loot
And
heavy.
go figure, his Gearbox is part of it,
Of
makers of
course.
Borderlands. So
Of course. And but it's beautiful because each area, like right now I'm at the water place. I won't say much about that, but you start off and you're on Earth initially. So literally the design from like the character, the backgrounds, like everything that you see is specific to a place, whether it's Earth or a water place. So the monsters are different. Like the same type of loot, whether you get something called mother load that's used to do armor. One of the things, whether you're on Earth or on in the water place, literally it looks different. Everything feels different. Like it's fucking beautiful. But yeah, like I said, you are literally using the power of the gods by using their armor to carry out your mission, which is to stop your brother. That's as
yeah, that
basic
seems
as
to
I
be the
can without
main
spoiling.
gist, because I don't get, but the lady is talking to me. There's like this lady you meet early on after you ready
Yeah,
to go to get your armor, and it's just like,
it's her
I don't
voice.
know what the fuck you're telling me, lady. Just give me whatever you need to give me, and let me keep killing things,
Yeah,
because
I mean, yeah,
the combat kind of reminds me of Demon Souls. When I was playing Demon Souls, I'm like, okay, R1 block, parry, attack, except that you get godlike powers in this game, and you
yeah,
can do all these other moves and this big skill
yeah.
tree. The skill tree isn't as big as Assassin's Creed skill tree, because if we got the
It's not.
points we got in Assassin's Creed, we could fill up that tree in like 2 hours.
It's not, but it is because even though it looks small, which I noticed again today, like every time I play it, I learn something new. So even though it looks small, like because it's literally a box, it's not, because each single one that you unlock, there are like 5 points to unlock within those each node.
Yeah.
So that's how they got away with it. Instead of making a bunch of different nodes, they made like several nodes, and then each node unlocks more into the same ability. Like
And there's
Vitality.
also 12 armors that we could collect, right? 12, I believe. That's what
Yes,
they said.
it looked like there was 12 because it's 6 on each side. But then it's even more than that because there's like mad buttons, mad button combinations that I'm realizing now, because as you unlock those other items in armors, they all have different types of like specials, and there's like multiple types of specials. I just unlocked something to siphon, which I still can't use because I stay forgetting to parry and to block. But yeah, like that's a totally different button combination between using like L2 and like X or no square, for instance, like, and then like depending on which armor you have, it changes like how things work, like when you're attacking, whether I'm poisoning someone, if I'm using, it's like an ailment rather, or if I'm like burning them or ignite, they call it ignite. So I think that that's pretty dope too. And then there's the augments, and then there's like the forge, like tempering your weapons, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then
I didn't get that far yet.
yeah, forget all of that. Just some basic shit. Just being, let's say where you're at, because you're probably still on Earth. Just being there, like after you like start doing your, like when you're doing your missions that she keeps telling you to go to do, like there's other icons on your map. Did you notice those?
Only when I was looking for items, because I think I just started after that, and they're like telling me about collecting things while you're running around and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
that.
Mhm.
So they give you more stuff to do in the game because obviously it's open world, so they give you more stuff to do. So it's not just literally like you're just doing the missions. Like there's like to unlock the trophies, because I'm a gamer. So there's like defeat this monster, and then like by defeating this monster, you actually end up getting better shit than you just upgrading, which I wish I would have known before, because I spent mad money on upgrading certain weapons, and then I went to go beat this guy and his brother, and then I got better shit, and I was so mad because I
Well, that's
wasted
how the
all my
looter
shit.
stuff usually works.
It hurt my feelings, but like yeah, and then you can the thing is it's grind heavy, which Mike would love, because you can continue to do the mission over and over and over.
Oh,
Granted,
you can.
it's a
Right
certain
now, I
level.
feel it's kind of easy, especially after playing Demon Souls and then going back to
No,
it.
yeah,
I
it's easier
felt
than Demon
good
Souls.
because Demon Souls was whooping my ass, and then I go
Yeah.
back to this game, which feels like Demon Souls, but I'm a powerful motherfucker. So it's like I felt so good killing a bunch of, like, does it get harder?
It does get harder. It just depends on your level, because like I said, with this, for instance, which are totally optional, you could literally change the settings, because apparently there's a difficulty option, which I just noticed today
Oh,
on
I
the
didn't
bottom.
even know that.
Yeah, but it does. I don't think that has to do with the game itself. I think that has to do with the individual fights of the monsters. I could be wrong though, but I saw on the bottom when you click the difficulty level, the difficulty settings on a given monster hunt, whatever. There was like easy, which is like it's just for casual gamers. Then it was like normal, which is how the game's meant to be played. And then it was like hard. And hard was like you get 3 chances to pass this, and then if you don't pass it, then you
Well,
fail.
I'll never play that level then. Definitely.
So,
not.
but yeah, I thought that was interesting. But as I said, there's like so many different combinations in this game, which I think is pretty interesting. Like I said, the
You love
armor
the combat.
aspect. The combat, yes, I love the combat. I like that. I don't like that there's so many ways to attack. It sounds cool, but sometimes I just be like, I want to press this one button. I want it to work out great, you know? But like I keep like forgetting, oh shit, I have a special. If I press the L3, R3, if I press that and it's full, I have that special. Oh yeah, I have a shield throw. Okay, I have this. Oh, I forgot. I have this other thing that like makes the red stuff and it makes them explode.
That's my common problem with some MMOs. Like right
There's
now,
too
I'm
many
playing
things to
on
do.
Bless Unleashed. You have a lot of combos you have to learn when you're playing that MMO and stuff. And that in Black Desert, they do that shit to you. And that shit gets annoying because you're unlocking moves and you want to use them, but you forget because it's like, it's too much sometimes. It's too much.
Yeah. I mean, that's one thing. I was gonna mention something also, but I'll wait. Do you have anything else like you want to ask me about that?
Freddie and E, you guys have any questions about the game?
Because I got some other shit to say about this game.
Not really. I'm not interested in it. I think it reminds me a lot of. I was just thinking about this because you keep saying how pretty it is. It reminds me of the PS4 game. I was just looking it up. Order of 1886. Remember that?
Yo, that game needs a sequel. I think.
And like this, how pretty that game was, and like that was like the hype around it. It was like, yo, play this on your PS4. It's gonna look gorgeous.
But a
lot
of
werewolves, right?
So and I feel like this is kind of the same case where like people are like, yo, put this game on. When people come over, they're gonna see how amazing the PS5 is. But it just seems kind of just like blah to me, like that thing screaming like play me. Especially with
viewers are saying too, they're not really falling for it. Like everybody's giving it like a 2.5 out of 5. 6 out of 10 is the highest I've seen, you know. And I think that comes from the story. One isn't too much explained. I feel like you're just running around and killing people, because I honestly am not caring for the story right now, and I'm just looking for right now. Like I got one legendary weapon, and yes, it's good that your legendary weapon is strong as shit. But when you go an hour into the game and getting all this loot, and not one weapon you get is stronger than I have 8 weapons since I got my legendary weapon, and not one of them was stronger than my legendary weapon. So I'm just like, when am I gonna reach a point in the game where my legendary weapon is useless and I need a new weapon to switch to? You know, it's crazy.
Well, that's because they want you to, well, you haven't gotten there yet. They want you to upgrade your weapon, which is costly. Those things that you've been picking up, they want you to do that. But more importantly, to get better, strong weapons is doing those side things, which I didn't really feel like doing half the time. I did some today, but I really didn't want to feel forced to have to do it. And then when I played 2 of them today, I beat like 2 different monsters. I'll just put it like that. And then I was like, oh shit, this shit is just as strong as my shit, possibly even more strong. So they make it seem as if you have to do this to get exclusive shit. And then the harder difficulty settings is on those specific matches, the nicer the shit you get. Which I think, to a degree, I get why they would do that. But like, I don't think you should force someone to have to do that or use all their items to upgrade their weapons.
Playability, and also we haven't tried co-op yet. We have not. We
I
got
was
to
trying
do
to
a
figure out how to
Brain
do
Cat
that
Attack
earlier.
episode with co-op. We definitely got to do co-op on that game.
One big problem though with that for me the game, there's been like mad glitches. I don't know. Remember, I kept sending you messages about the glitches.
Yeah, I haven't run into any yet.
Well, I got stuck in the wall.
Mm.
I wasn't in the wall though, but I was stuck to the wall. I couldn't move. So I had to restart.
Absorption.
Yeah. Often, kind of like what I guess one of you guys said earlier with swinging, when you'll just be swinging assassinations in Assassin's Creed, and you're like, I'm not near this person, but they're dying anyway. That happens sometimes in the game too. The camera glitch, which I told you about before, where you can't press the button before a certain point, because it literally says on top of your screen, the broadcast is during a private part. You know, broadcast certain things.
Oh, I didn't even know that. I haven't tried broadcasting that game.
Like, yeah, if you try to broadcast, like, let's say if you're on the main menu, not in the game, you can't do that, obviously. So you can't broadcast before the game actually starts, like you're physically in the game. So you have the start screen of Godfall or whatever, which there really isn't really a start screen, but if you have the start screen and then you can't press it there. You have to like literally be in the game to press it. And then if you're not, then you have to restart things, including the PS5. Annoying.
Yeah. I think they got to work on some things when it comes to streaming. Because I had a technical issues trying to stream Demon Souls like 6 times before I realized when I went inside of a not a Discord, what you call Reddit thing, when I asked why can't my damn stream work, I'm getting a blue screen. A bunch of people were getting it, and some guy was just like, did you try closing out your Netflix or something app? Are you using Netflix in the background? And I said no, but then when I went on, I was like, oh shit, YouTube is on in the background. So as soon as I turned off YouTube, now I'm able to stream, you know. So I had to just you can't have no apps running in the background in order to stream any games on the PS5, people, just so you know. But that's all I have to say about Godfall. Next up, I know something E definitely might have questions on, because I know you love the Spider-Man game on PS4.
Yeah.
So I've been playing Miles Morales, and of course, like it looks beautiful. The gameplay is great. I think when it comes to the story, right now it looks like they're about to go into the Spider-Verse movie. Like it looks like you got your uncle in there, and he saw that what's the villain that his uncle played in the Spider-Verse movie? You remember his name?
Prowler.
Prowler. There we go. Yeah. So you hear about Prowler, and like they have these podcasts going on where you're swinging around and they talk about Prowler, and then you talk to your uncle and do missions like that. And he's like, maybe I should reach out to him after this. So I'm like, oh, they're going the direction of the movie. So it seems like right now, you know, I don't know what else is going on. I did only probably like 3 hours into the game. Looks beautiful, like especially once I got my new TV. I went and invested in a new fucking Sony TV, the 900H, just for these consoles, man. Putting myself into more and more debt. But I told my wife this was what was gonna happen when these consoles came. I'm putting myself into debt. She knows me. I am gonna do as much as I can to get the best experience. So, but this game looks beautiful on Sony TV. You know, Eric, the triluminous display, the darkness, the X1 chip, and all of that shit. Everything is fucking gorgeous. I love the vibe it gives you when you're just walking around and he's listening to music. They have a bunch of like hip-hop music playing while you're playing the game and everything like that, and like murals to Black Lives Matter and all that type of stuff going on. You know, I found like some little loopholes here and there with the story so far, but I'm like, whatever, I just want to get through this. But it's been fun, a fun time, even though people are complaining that it's 5 to 10 hours. Remember, people, they did say it was an expansion pack, and then Sony told them to shut the fuck up. You know, Insomniac did say it was an expansion pack when this was were introduced to us, and Sony told them, shut the fuck up. We're gonna sell it as a game. All right, so this is an expansion. It's a glorified expansion because if
So,
it was The Witcher 3, we only get like 3 hours. This is an expansion in which we get like 5 to 10.
so do
So
you telling people to hold out for a sell price to go down?
well, I would say if you can hold that, it's $40. You know, if you just get it without the Spider-Man game added onto it. I was
Oh, well,
40.
Black Friday's around the corner.
Yeah,
That's
Black
what I'm
Friday
waiting for.
around the corner
$20,
too. So
hopefully.
yeah, if you could get it for like for the full game for 40, if you haven't played the original game already, then go ahead and wait for that. But this is just $40 for a PS5 game where they could have charged us 70, and people would have still bought it for 70. So I think it's worth it at $40 and stuff. But you guys have any questions about this game? Like anything you wanted to know?
How's the combat different? Does it feel different playing as Spider Peter and Miles? Or does it
Well,
feel the same?
you know, he has like these electricity powers now. So that plays a big part in this game, like upgrading that, doing more with it. You feel kind of more powerful than Peter when you first started with him, even though you're like 5 years into him being Spider-Man, I believe. But now, yeah, Miles, but the thing is, Miles just develops these powers out of nowhere. There's no explanation where this electricity power comes from. It's like right at the beginning of the game, while you're working with Spider-Man before he leaves the city to you, and you're just like out of nowhere, oh, I want to say Spider-Man was like a CW moment, where you don't have this power, that all of a sudden your family member's in danger, and then Barry West, all of a sudden he could change time and run back in time and do some shit like that. So that's exactly how this fucking felt. It was just like, oh my God, Peter's in trouble. Oh, what's this? Oh my God, electricity's coming out of my hands. You know, it was one of those fucking moments. I'm like, really? Really? No explanation at all. This motherfucker just has electricity coming out of his body. Yes, people, that's just how it happens. Okay, like.
Hey, is there an explanation to what happened to Peter? Why is Peter gone?
Yeah, there's explanation to why he's not there. You'll get an
He
explanation.
went on vacation.
You know, yeah. Spoiler alert. You know, Peter goes on fucking vacation.
Somewhere.
And yeah, it's just whatever. It's not that big of a spoiler. You get left the city. You're the only Spider-Man left. Save the world. You know, one unique thing they added to this game is that your friend, which I think they substituted for Peter Parker's chubby Chinese friend in the movies, because now you have a chubby Chinese friend in the game. Right. And so he creates this app for you. And with the app, you're able to, that's where you get a lot of your side missions. Like people are, it's future wise. So people are, DMing Spider-Man, hey, there's a crime going on in Brooklyn right now. And you can open up the phone and just track that mission and go and
solve. That's like other Spider-Man. Because the other Spider-Man had a social media, right?
Yeah, he has social media, but now like this one, you can actually do missions through social media. So people will hit you up on social media and be like, there's a crime going on over here. Do you want to go ahead and do that? And blah, blah, blah. And yeah, you could just go ahead and do it that way. They have one thing I like about this game is like Assassin's Creed in a way where the side missions aren't like the last game where there's a bunch of the same shit over and over again. This time, a lot of the side missions are changed up. I guess because the game is smaller, so they didn't have to spread out side missions like that. But in this one, you're not doing the same type of side mission over and over again, unless you're going into a training module. Even that's different, but because you're learning a new move. But it's still a lot of.
How's the boss fights? I remember with Spider-Man, the boss fights were pretty cool.
This one, I've only done one boss fight so far because I've actually been doing side missions. And the boss is good, man. A lot of what you call it, QTE, quick time executions going on after you do some punching and kicking, stuff like that. But there's a lot of ways each battle could go on depending on the moves you've unlocked and stuff like that. So my battle against one person is definitely probably not going to be the same as your battle with another person, depending on how long you wait to go into that battle. Your battle might be easier because you unlocked a specific skill, that I didn't unlock, you know, and it could go like that. But the game is fun. I know everybody's hesitant right now because of that time range of 5 to 10 hours. But people, how many of you finished your fucking games anyway? Like, how many people finished their big games anyway? People complain about time, but we have no time. We live in a world where we have no time. I have no time, and I buy all these fucking games, which is why I barely finish my games. So if you want something that you're going to actually finish, and I say I'm going to finish this, 5 to 10 hours, fucking $40. People like, just buy the DLC. It's DLC. Get it. No one's saying you have to get the full game. For PS5, if you're getting it on PS5, it's worth the $40. If you're getting it on PS4, just spend the $40. You're gonna be able to upgrade to PS5 later on anyway when you get yours. So it's definitely worth it. Any other questions?
Hey, yeah. Who's the main villain in that one again?
Is it Prowler?
Right now, I think it's Prowler. I don't know. Right now, it's looking like it's going to be Prowler because where I'm at in the story, it looks like they're following the Enter the Spider-Verse storyline other than other Spider-Mans coming to the world. That may be a surprise at the end. I don't know. But no other Spider-Mans are in the world other than Peter Parker.
All right.
Next up on the agenda, something else that only Felice has been playing, Sackboy Adventures. Have you opened that game yet?
Yes, I have opened the game. It's hella cute. I'm in love. I was gonna play it later on tonight actually, when this is probably after I finish watching TV and eat again. But okay, so this game is hella cute. It has the same feel of Little Big Planet still. The only thing is that, you know, this is more 3D. Because like it's not just sideways, even though there are a lot of levels that you do go sideways, but they take advantage of the full like area.
Yeah, 3D environment. Yeah. Like Mario first went to 3D.
Yeah. But even beyond that, it's like the costumes. I told you before, like I think one of the other podcasts you asked like if you could play one of the like, what was your first favorite game, and I was talking about Little Big Planet. Like this is me. This game is me. I got trolled but wanted to only buy Sackboy with my PS5 initially. So it's worth it for me anyway. It's cute. There's a lot of costumes and stuff like that. It still has really good music, which I love. I found myself singing some of the songs. I guess for copywritten reasons, they don't put the lyrics in some of the songs. Like there's a Bruno Mars song that I was playing, and it just had like the chorus. I was like, yeah, and it was like just that in the melody. So like I think that was pretty cool because the previous ones I don't recall them having actual like music with words in it at all, even though this is only partial.
Yeah, there's no music with words in the other ones.
Yeah, this one has words in it, but like some of the lyrics, but it's not like the whole song. They only put like certain parts, I guess, because I guess it's more user friendly. Because let's be real, some of his songs are like not kid friendly. But beyond that, I haven't attempted to try to play online or anything like that. I think it plays.
There's no online multiplayer right now. It still needs an update for that. You only can do couch co-op.
Yeah, I was like, because I know there's 2 to 4 players coming up eventually, I guess.
When that unlocks, I'll buy it and I'll play with you, or I'll let you play with my 5-year-olds.
I will play with. Yes, I would play this game with anyone. But like legit. Also, I love the way the characters pop, like the enemies and stuff like that. It's pretty cute. It's just literally, it looks like Mario Party also, like the layout. You know how in Mario Party, like you have like the whole map, and then like after you, is that Mario Party or is that just Mario? You go to a node, you beat that level, you go to level, you beat that level, and then you go
a lot of Mario games since the early days when I was in diapers, right, E?
Yeah.
Yes, when you were in diapers. And then they have like these random things, kind of like Mario also, where it's like a building, you go there and it's like a special mission, but it's not a mission, it's like collect all the items before the time runs out. So I think it's pretty cute in that aspect. It's literally like a Little Big Planet Mario game. That's what it feels like to me.
That's the thing. Is PlayStation is pushing this game. Like Sackboy is their their go-to now. He's like their mascot now, you know,
It's supposed to
because
be Ratchet Clank though.
people know, but the problem is now they're not gonna go to somebody to a game like God of War. You can't do Kratos, you can't do Nathan Drake, you can't do Ratchet and Clank because those games only come out every 3 or 4 years. Little Big
Yeah.
Planet and Sackboy Adventures could be like Mario because it's a platformer, and those
Yeah.
games are easier to be made, and you could bring
Yeah.
out a new Little Big Planet every year if you wanted to, just like
I
Mario.
thought they used
A new
to.
Mario could come out every 1 or 2 years, and you can't do that with Uncharted in those games. Those games take years to make.
Oh,
So, you know,
I forgot also controller. I think they tried. Remember, you guys told me to play the Astro thing.
yeah.
Okay, takes advantage of the controller too in a way because you can actually, you know how the other ones you can like move and stuff like that, move his arms and his head and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
it takes advantage of the controller in that aspect, like that, and then a couple other things, moves, whatever. So I think that was pretty cool that they kept that because I know the PS3 with the 6-axis and the DualShock, and then the PS4 and the Vita all took advantage of certain aspects of that. So I like that they didn't get rid of that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's just fucking cute, and I can't wait for them to. I call it trolling other games when they make the costume characters the other games,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't
Are
say
you
it's
able to
from that.
create levels in this one?
I haven't tried yet, but you're supposed to be able to. But that's the online part.
Okay. Yeah,
I
I figured
haven't.
you could probably share levels, but they said you can't play with people yet. I don't
Yeah, I
understand
haven't
why
seen
bring out a
anything like
game and you're not ready, because there's a lot of games
None
I
of them are
think
ready.
should have been released. I feel like Horizon, the new Horizon, was supposed to be a launch game and something went
Yeah.
wrong with that. I feel Ratchet and Clank was supposed to be a launch game and something went wrong with that. You know, like, so Sackboy was just their go-to. Lo and behold, and what's funny is that people were bitching about lineups and how, oh, everybody on Xbox is playing old games, but at least there's hundreds of games to play on your Xbox Series X right now. But on PlayStation, if you want exclusives, there's only about like 5 games. I'm not saying I'm hating because I own all the games, but at the same time, if you want a lot of games, you still got to go back and download your PS4 games, you know? So they're in the same position right now for those. But PlayStation fans have been quiet about the launch lately, so I'm glad
I still
about that.
got a beef about that though, the downloading of the game, because I told you that when I first did the double Ethernet
You had
cord for
the PS4 version of games, right?
Yeah, but when I first tried to do the download for them, so, it was like doing like it was basically mirroring, it was basically copying everything at first. But then when I went into my game, I had to keep unchecking some boxes because it wasn't enough memory because they reserve 170 something gigabytes for the cloud, and then like this other gigabytes for this, like, so they sectioned it up in such a way that like you really don't have that much space. Like I only have like 3 games downloaded on my system, and the rest of them are apps.
See, I have all my PS4 games are on my externals, so only the
Yeah, I have to
PS5
do
games
that.
are on my regular hard drive. So I haven't had any issues with that. But before we move on, Fred, you guys have any questions about Sackboy Adventures?
No.
It's
Nothing
not their
like
cup
that?
of tea.
All right.
It's okay.
Next up, I guess I'll go into Demon Souls. I played a few minutes of. I think it's probably about 45 minutes before I got frustrated from dying so much. You guys could check out that stream on YouTube because I can't sign into our Twitch right now either because I guess Mike and Freddie are signed on to it. So they're just like, all right, everybody else in the Gamerish crew can't fucking sign on unless one of them sign off. Mike, sign off because you don't stream. But yeah, other than that, Demon Souls, man, oh God, how do I put this out? It's not bad. It's not a bad game at all. You know, I'm actually liking it. And I think I'm actually liking it because of the way PlayStation 5 lets you play it. You know, it's smoother. You're playing at 60 frames per second. It feels good. It looks good. And there's no long load screens, you know. And because of that, every time I die, and even though I have to start the whole level over, it happens instantaneously. There's no load screen. I think if the game gave me time to think about starting over again, fuck this. I was trading that game in today. Trading it in today. Swear to God. But because it was instantaneous, I kept going and I tried the same level like 5 times and I feel like I am learning, but at the same time it feels like Godfall, the movements and the buttons with Godfall, they're mixing together. So like sometimes when I'm dodging, I'm just like I'm thinking like I'm gonna dodge like Godfall, but it's not the same because the enemies in Demon Souls are kind of, some of them are stiff, some of them are quick going, you know, and you just gotta remember you gotta get good, which is what all my friends been fucking telling me for years. They're just like, get good. That's how you get better in Demon Souls and Dark Souls. Just get good. But everyone knows me. E knows since the days of Sony, fuck all hard games. I don't like playing them. I'll put every fucking game on easy. I play too many games to fucking sit there and worry about a challenge because I don't care about a challenge. I care about a story. The more cutscenes a game has, the better for me. You know, like, because I like seeing stories in video games because to me, games are art. And one thing I'll tell the world I've been wrong with my whole life. Demon Souls has a story. I had no idea there was a story to these fucking games. You know, when I started it and a woman's talking and she's talking about what's going down, I'm like, what? This game has a story? Like, I thought you just get dropped into a world and hey, good luck, motherfucker. That's what I thought this game was. Like, but then when I started and there's a cut scene and she's like, this happened and that happened. And my mind was already made up that I didn't care about the story. And I was just like, shut up. I just want to play now because it's just let me see how far I get before I get mad. And I think next week I'm going to do a stream where I'm going to take a shot every time I die. And I'll only do this for an hour because that's going to be a lot of shots. I'm only doing this for an hour and that's going to be a lot of fucking shots. But it will also force me to get good because if I don't want to take them shots, I got to kill.
I'm going to watch that shit.
I gotta do it. I'm gonna do it. I'll announce it when I'm about to do it. And guys, also just to throw in there before I go to the next game, a gamerish contest coming out this week on Thursday. For those who listen to a drink in a game, I'll let you guys know early because I'm not announcing it yet. But we're gonna do a contest for Super Mario Game & Watch. We will be raffling that off to people who follow the rules of this contest. The only way to find out how to be entered into this contest is to listen to the Gamerish Network podcast this Thursday at 8:30. If you do as we say, you will be entered into this contest to win this Game & Watch, Super Mario Game & Watch, which I didn't know so many people wanted. To me, this was just another Nintendo piece of shit that they're trying to sell to us and make a bunch of money. And then everybody's like sold out here, sold out there, sold out everywhere. I'm just like, what the fuck? Why is this game selling out? And then so I was like, all right, next time Wario64 says it's available, fuck it. Let me go click on the link and buy it real quick and give it away to the good people that follow the Gamerish Network. You know, so those of you that are listening to this, Drinking the Game listeners, you guys are first up on the news. Tune in to the Gamerish Network podcast on Thursday, and we will give out the rules to how to enter into this raffle to win a Game & Watch Super Mario, I guess Nintendo DS looking shit, you know, because that's what it looks like, you know. Freddie, were you able to cop one? I know you said you were going to get one. You grabbed one?
Yeah, I got lucky. It should be coming soon, but I don't know.
Well, the one I'm giving away comes on Friday because I don't care about it. I feel it's going to be worth money in the future. And then, like, when it's worth hundreds of dollars, I'm going to be on the podcast talking about, yeah, somebody listening to this right now is raking in cash off of that shit we gave away. You know, but it's all good because I'm too lazy to make people bid on shit for me, you know, so it's whatever. Other than that, I think I have, one other game, Freddie, we got our free code to Rune 2 and you were streaming it today. Tell everybody about what that game was like.
It's pretty fun. It's like another Vikings. I guess that's the season of the year. Everything's Vikings right now. It's kind of, I don't know how to describe it. It's similar to like Assassin's Creed in the sense of like R1, R2 attack, block parry, but it definitely doesn't take itself seriously. And I think that's what I enjoy the most about it. It was just like over the top, but like still has like a serious tone about it, which is kind of funny. It's like Hemdare, like the god, is like talking to you all serious. And I have like a giant ass hammer and I'm just like smashing people and like they're just like blood and guts everywhere. I'm like, okay, fine. It's a fun game. I streamed it. I'm probably gonna stream it again a bit tomorrow. I have a Let's Play up on YouTube, so you guys could definitely check that out after this. I enjoy it. I'm probably gonna play some more of it. It's a fun game. When you guys see the videos, let me know what you think.
Yeah, I was watching you when I was at work, so I couldn't listen. Cause I had some questions, about it and stuff. And like it's great. I feel like we're getting places now. For those who know, because we're still growing, people, and it's just like Gamerish just started getting free games. This is fun to know that we're getting to that place. That's all thanks to you people, because if you guys weren't raising our numbers, these games wouldn't be coming to us to show off to you all. So we thank you guys from the bottom of our hearts, for getting us in this position. But at the same time, like it looked like there was some glitchy moments at some parts. Like what was like hey, you ran into any glitches or anything like that while
Just
playing?
like
I
nothing
know it's
crazy.
early access for us, but like
Just like things floating, nothing crazy. Just like a bag in the air. The lock on. Oh, one thing is funny. One thing that's annoying is the jumping. You have to like stop moving to jump onto a cliff, or you just keep rolling into it. So I kept just like going forward and jumping like every other game taught me, and I kept just rolling into the cliff over and over again. But like it's just like little stuff that could be changed. It's fun, and I think that's the thing that I enjoy the most. It's not challenging. It's just like get some shit, kick some ass, and then go.
All right. Would you recommend it? Would it find? I think it released 3 days ago. Would you recommend it to anybody? I don't know if it's still in early access or if it's fully released, but
I would, but I'll probably wait for like a Steam sale.
good, good. So Rune 2, people, look out for it. Look out. It's got Freddy's seal of honor right now.
Yes. Definitely with all these like serious games that are out. Like I feel like Godfar is like serious. Assassin's Creed could be serious sometimes.
Serious unless you're playing the drinking game, which I love playing. Yo, I'm obsessed with playing the
Oh yeah, the drinking game is fun.
Figure. Like every time I see somebody that wants to challenge me to the drinking game. Have you played it, E? Inside Assassin's Creed? You did the drinking game?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
So I've won that like about 4 times, I think now.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I love the drink. I'll be like telling anybody, I'll be acting like I'm drinking in real life. Yeah, I'll bet the most amount of money I'm gonna outdrink you right now. But that's just me. Everybody's probably laughing right now, like typical Dre. So drinking game is what he's excited about. But other than that, last game on my agenda. The rest I'm gonna save for Gamerish podcast. Call of Duty, Cold War. Has anybody else played it but me?
Just the multiplayer.
It's the I know. Well, E, you played the multiplayer too. I remember you went more in on the old multiplayer than any one of us. You were playing that more than us, because I've only played since I bought the game. So I want you guys to speak on the multiplayer, then I'll tell you how it is now, and then I'll go into stories. So E, what was your initial thoughts on multiplayer? Then we'll go to you, Felice.
Well, I really enjoyed it. For somebody who doesn't really care for Call of Duty games, for the most part, I really did like it. I liked most of the maps. I think I had 2 in particular that I liked the most, more than the others. But it was a lot of fun. I don't usually buy COD games, but I was thinking about maybe getting it just for the multiplayer itself.
And that's crazy coming from
Yeah,
you.
it's
Me and
crazy.
you are single player gamers. Me and you.
Yeah,
love our
we are.
story.
We are. But I really did enjoy it. I liked it.
But since you brought that up, I might as well just bring it up now about the story before I go on. story is different than any other Call of Duty game out there. Yes, you have some returning roles. You're playing in the future and you're playing in the past, the Cold War. So they set it up in a way, and it's kind of like a RPG in a way. You get to this time, the first time ever, you create your character for the story mode. You create your background. You say whether you're part of the KGB, M16, CIA. You pick how your personalities, and it determines the buffs you get during the damn game. And I just went straight me. I said I went with dependable, which means when you're down and flanking, I could take more bullet damage when I'm holding off and taking cover and defending people. And what's the other one? God, it slipped my mind. But there's another. You got to pick 2 traits, and there's a lot. I think it's about like 15 traits you could choose from, or what type of character you want, and it builds your profile. It'll tell where you came back on, and it even determines your missions, so how you're interacting with in missions. So I chose that I came from M16. So there's one mission where you get to, now you get a board and you get to choose what mission you want to do, because you're trying to gather evidence for the world that you're in now. So you have to go back in the past, do this mission, gather, and depending on how much evidence you gather during those missions, it determines what the future is going to be like. Also, at the end of every level, a major choice has to be made. They make you like kill someone or let them live. You kill them, you make some people happy, but if you let them live, you might get some more info that you missed out on while you were on the mission. You picking my class. There's this one mission where I'm pissed off because I chose that I was part of M16, which they said M16 people are good at deciphering codes and things like that. So I can't move on with the side mission until I decipher this specific code, because I'm M16. They're like, you're M16. You should be able to decipher this code. And I can't decipher it. I'm about to go on YouTube and see somebody that did it, because I want to play this mission. And they're like, if you do this mission without the code, there's a high chance of failure. And they have a lot of missions like that. There's another mission where you have to figure out a riddle. They give you like 6 or 7 characters, and 3 of them are spies. The other 5 are innocent, or 4 are innocent people. You have to choose the 3, and they're like, are you sure this is the 3 people that are the double agents? Because if you go in here and you kill them, there's no turning back. And it's just like, I won't do that side mission now because I need to figure out the riddle. I figured out 2 of them, but the 3rd one, I'm like, I can't go in, because if I kill this person, I'm gonna feel bad, that I killed it. So this game has a lot going for it. It forces you to look around in the story. You get a camera in most missions to take pictures of things that are clues that can help you out in side missions. And like the side missions are where you play as people like Alex Mason, and that were in past Black Ops games and things like that. And if you know the story of Alex Mason, like the thing with the numbers and all of that plays into the story. Like you'll do something random with him, and like they'll be like, Mason, what's the numbers on this thing? So you go to put in numbers inside a fucking computer, and then he'll start seeing the numbers flash in front of his face because of what happened to him. For those who don't know, he was brainwashed, and they use numbers a lot, and all that plays into this game, because this is back in I think you go back to like, what is the 50s or 60s where the Cold War was, and
60s,
Mason, yeah, the 60s, and Mason, I believe, was brainwashed in the 50s. So that's why you're seeing it while you're going. I had to go into Wikipedia again to read. I literally last night, 1 a.m, I'm reading Mason's whole story on Wikipedia. So I'm just like, yo, is this in the time that he saw the numbers? Is this before or after? Like, so now I'm more in debt in the story, because I'm like, all right, Mason does this. This guy is part of this. Woods is here, and I'm just like, all right, who's expendable? Because I'm just looking for the person that's gonna betray me. Every Call of Duty game has somebody that betrays you, and I'm just waiting for that fucking moment. And I'm just looking like, is it gonna be you? Is it gonna be you? You know,
Don't
so
trust
I'm looking at
nobody.
people, that were in future Call of Duty games, and I'm just like, any one of you could be a fucking traitor. All I know, my character could be a fucking traitor because the main character in this game called Perseus, I believe, he's been mysterious. No one knows. He pops up in and out of nowhere, and people don't know how he's figured out certain secrets. I don't want to ruin nothing. And it's just like the president is in on some fucking shady shit. People you playing with are in on some shady shit. And in some ways, your own character is part of some shady shit. So if you want to play this game for story, worth it. Multiplayer, it's been fun for me. But Felice, tell me your time with multiplayer, then I'll go into mine in the full game.
Many deaths. That's legitimately my time. I didn't play that much, but I did play multiplayer. I played the Armada? No.
With the alpha?
No, it was team death match. But cause I mean I need a team to carry me. I'm not gonna lie. With Call of Duty, the aiming is different from Overwatch, okay? But there's too many weapons. I just need one weapon. But no, I was on this big ship or something. I think it's called Armada.
I know what level you're talking about. I don't know the name of it, but I know what level.
Okay, so I was on this big ship and I kept getting stabbed. Well, I mean, I never saw them coming, so they hadn't been stabbing me. I don't know. Apparently, I don't wash my back. I don't know. But my team kept leaving me. I think because they knew I was pulling them down. I was trying my best. I was only good at assisting, not at actually getting kills, because every time I would try, just like the beta that, or was it beta? The demo that came out?
Beta and alpha that we got to play.
Yeah. Just like that, it was like I couldn't get my head out because like someone would just snipe me or stab me. So it's like it felt overwhelming a bit. I'm not gonna lie to you. I tried like 2 matches.
Call of Duty games do.
Yeah, I mean, but I think I played several. I played all the Call of Duties. Let me not lie, but not the last one, but the one before that, I got really comfortable with it. Like the one that was like in the desert, your team was camped out in the desert and stuff like that. So I played that one, the multiplayer, a lot, and I got used to it. And it gave me feels of like Battlefield, except not. So, because I'm a Battlefield person, I'll play Battlefield and fuck everybody up.
I love Battlefield.
Yeah, I'll fuck everybody up. But Call of Duty is like slightly different.
It's more
so,
fast paced. In Battlefield, you have to think about what you're gonna do next. In Call of Duty, you just run and gun, unless you're playing some type of objective thing. But I'll let Freddie speak to that because he's the Call of Duty aficionado in here.
I just want to hop in a tank and shoot things. That's all I want to do. But go ahead, Freddie.
I played the beta, but I would say, how do you feel about the game before I get my take on it?
I mean, I only played the beta.
Yeah, he only played the beta too.
Yeah, I only played the beta, which I enjoyed. I did enjoy it a lot.
It's beautiful. It really is, the game.
Yeah.
How does it? Are you playing on the new system? How does it feel playing Call of Duty on the next gen?
It's much better. Of course, with playing on PlayStation, the haptic feedback on your gun, like. I actually feel like I'm holding the fucking gun when I'm playing the damn game of shooting. I've just played a few free-for-all matches before we came on the pod, and I won both of them. And I'm just like, yo, this is crazy. Like, I'm in the zone. I don't know if it was the liquor. Maybe the liquor, like, gave me extra concentration. I always tell people that beer and liquor give me powers, but probably. But I was focused playing, and I just felt like I didn't feel like there was a disadvantage at all. I'm like level 8 only right now because I've been working on the story more than multiplayer. This is only the second day I played the multiplayer, but I ranked up like 4 levels in 2 matches. I think double experience is on right now for 24 hours for PlayStation users because PlayStation users have all this extra content coming for a whole year, a whole fucking year. Like, people are going to get pissed off at this shit at some point in time. Like, people, you got to rebel. Like, make sure everybody gets this stuff. Like, this exclusive content needs to stop. Everybody needs to get all this shit at the same time. Because right now, it seems like if you're playing on an Xbox, you're pretty much fucked of...
And PC.
yeah, NPC, like a PlayStation just has this shit on lockdown right now. But go ahead, Fred, with what you was gonna say.
Um, no, I enjoy it. There's a little of this. I'm really into Call of Duty, so I watch videos all day about it. People are complaining about just like it kind of feeling unfinished. I guess that's probably something that more the hardcore people would fear, like the aim assist kind of being broken. Certain aspect, like certain game guns just being overpowered in the beginning. So people are just kind of running into those kind of same issues, and I like it. I like the kill streaks are different. How do you guys feel about that? It's different than the last one. It's
I think that's one thing that keeps me playing. Now that when I die, my kill streak isn't lost. I love the shit out of that, because other things that made me stop playing other Call of Duty games is like, what's the point? I'll never get to use this fucking level 100 kill streak and all that type of shit, because I'm gonna die. The most I get to is the mid-level one, and then I use that, then I'll die. I never ever made it to the 3rd tier. Today was the first time I was able to go get my gunship, and I blah 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 bombs on all you motherfuckers. Don't matter how many times I fucking died. I felt it. I felt the power. I felt powerful for the first time ever playing Call of Duty. And that's probably why I was so focused in the next match. I was like, I'm powerful. I'm gonna fuck all of you up. And that's exactly what I did. And it feels good, even though it builds up. So what they do is if you die, it'll build up slower. But the longer you stay alive and kill people, you get your kill streaks faster. And what I like is that once you reach the 3rd tier, they'll still build up the bottom tiers too. So after you use it, you're still at some certain point with the other tiers, I just feel like now it's more fairer, like you better players can't just use these kill streaks against me, because kill me 10 times and I'm still going to get at least 1 kill off your ass, so I like it. Like, I guess I'm liking it right now because I haven't lost the match yet, but that's probably why I'm so in the game right now. Multiplayer, I still prefer my 1 player because I prefer Battlefield's multiplayer over Call of Duty's multiplayer any day of the week. And I can't wait to see what they do with next gen multiplayer with Battlefield. Like, that's gonna be amazing.
So beautiful.
It's gonna be crazy, especially destructible environments. Like, that is gonna be insane. Y'all better have y'all EA Play ready on y'all Xboxes so we don't have to spend no money on that. But or just have Game Pass. You'll get it. But yeah, it's been a wonderful experience, man. I like the multiplayer. Everything's been good. Creating a class has been interesting. I haven't really fucked with it too much because I haven't really felt like I've been, I guess, doing so good. I haven't felt the need to really edit my play set right now. I've just been using their standardized guns and play sets until I feel like, all right, now I'm in the echelon of people that are gonna whip my ass if I don't think about what I'm doing. Zombies is in there. I haven't gotten to play Zombies. By the time we do the Game Rich podcast on Thursday, I will have my take on Zombies. I think Mike might have the game by then because he's been asking us who's been playing. So I'm assuming that's his next purchase of choice. I'm assuming, though, he might not be. But yeah, that's it. Is there anything else? And any other games we didn't bring up that any of you guys want to speak on before we close out? Nope. All good. All right. So guys, as usual, thanks for listening to A Drink of the Game. Please follow us on Facebook, Gamerish Network, Instagram, Gamerish_network, Twitch, Gamerish_network /twitch.tv. Even Felice Cat, you can follow her too if you want to see her on a personal channel whenever she can't get onto ours. Watch out for Freddie's stuff every Saturday or during the week. You stream from 12 o'clock, Fred? 12 and 4?
12 to 12, yeah.
12 and 4 o'clock is Freddie's doing playthroughs, so look out for whatever he's playing. Drain Cat Attack on Twitch too. We will return to you guys at some point. We will, I promise. We just got to get over our next gen hype right now, because right now we're just on our next gen hype. We don't care about going back to Halo at the moment. So, but playing Halo on my new Xbox is probably going to be very fascinating. So I'm ready whenever you are, lady. And E,
get that shit. They gotta send it.
Thanks for joining us. E will come whenever he comes. You know, it's a pleasure whenever we see him again. You know, he'll probably be
you.
back for a gamerish podcast one day. You know, to join us, and we do a 5-person podcast. You know, that should be interesting. We never did that before.
Game of
But
the year.
I don't. Oh yeah, our award show. E will join us for the Gamerish Award Show.
All
He
right.
will be part of that and part of our nominees and list. It's almost December. I'm getting those categories ready. It's in my phone. I'm already starting to put games together. We'll have that discussion though on another pod. But until next time, people, enjoy your drinks, enjoy your games. Peace out.